All right, everyone, we're back. So we're here in our slideshow presentation. I'm going to teach you guys the chain rule using a Snickers bar. So here's our first problem. Oh, sorry. So it's going to be 5x squared minus 4x plus 3 all raised to the fourth power. We need to find f prime of x. So here's our first step. We need to identify what is our wrapper and what is our candy. So if we look at our Snickers bar, we can see that our wrapper that is covering our function is that fourth power. So guess what our wrapper is going to be? Our fourth power. So next we need to identify the candy, which is inside the wrapper. We've already talked about it. It's going to be 5x squared minus 4x plus 3 because that is what's being inside our wrapper, our Snickers bar. So the first step we need to do to doing this chain rule is take the derivative of the wrapper. So we know our wrapper is the fourth power. We need to take our derivative, and using the power rule, we know that is going to be 4 and then the third power. So our next step, what we want to do is we need to put our candy inside that wrapper. So we're going to put our candy inside the wrapper, just like this. It's a good little visualization for you guys. So next we need to take the derivative of the candy. So using the power rule again, and what we learned back when we were first learning the simplistics of derivatives, we learned that the power rule says it's going to be 10x minus 4. And another visualization that I did for you guys was all the sketched out, like the sketched out wrapper and the sketched out candy bar, those are your derivatives. That was just a little visualization in case you guys were confused. So at the end, this is how our candy should look in real life. But as our function, it should look just like this. So again, we have our wrapper, the derivative of our wrapper, right here and right here. Our candy is inside, and then the derivative of the candy being multiplied. So that's the chain rule. We're going to do one more problem. So that way you guys aren't, if you guys are so confused, we can clear things up with a harder problem. So next problem is going to be f of x equals cosine squared of 3x, and we need to find the derivative. So again, we need to find our wrapper and our candy. So our wrapper this time, if you can see it, what's covering up our candy is that cosine squared, because our cosine squared is covering up our candy, and our candy is 3x, as you can visually see it. So next we need to take the derivative of our wrapper, the sketched up wrapper, and we need to take the derivative cosine squared. So when you guys learn in the derivative of trig functions, you will learn that the derivative of cosine squared is negative 2 sine cosine, negative 2 sine x cosine x, if we were doing it this way. And then next, remember, back to our first step, we need to put our candy back inside our wrapper. So doing that, we have negative 2 sine 3x cosine 3x. We're putting our candy bar back inside our wrapper. Next, we need to take the derivative of the candy, just like we explained back in the first problem. So this should be an easy derivative, 3x, derivative of 3x is 3. Sketched out candy for visualization. How our candy should look. And then if you guys remember how our function is supposed to look like, negative 2 sine 3x cosine 3x times the derivative, which is 3. So we can't just leave it like this. We have to simplify it even further. So we're just going to take 3 times negative 2 sine, and we're going to get negative 6 sine 3x cosine 3x. So I hope this, guys, was a little simple for you guys. I'm sorry if I was talking too fast. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to contact me. So that's going to be it for the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again later, I guess.